assistance.
Okay, so for folks who are just joining us, your first efforts toward marketing your business were through word of mouth, and got a lot of support from friends and family, but nothing that was making the phone ring off the hook for you. Going through a lot of business cards, but things weren't happening as fast as you would like them to have happened.
It was just dead air. It was nothing.
Okay. So take us a bit through what the process was like that made you say, okay, you know what, I need to try something else, and how you stumbled upon social media. Which was your first social media platform that you started with?
So I started with Facebook, and that I seemed to get a pretty good response, but I still wasn't getting many phone calls or, I mean, what do? You can't make people call you. So I created a page, and then I would advertise the page on my personal stuff, and it was little by little, but it wasn't much.
Right.
So then I joined Twitter, and now I tweet, and that got things a little bit better, but it still wasn't a whole lot. One day I happened to just stumble across something somebody had shared, and it was called a networking post or a ladder post, which are just different groups that let you go in and advertise your business to everybody in that group.
Okay. And how did that work for you? Did that get things moving a little bit for you?
It did get things moving, and the greatest part of all of the networking that I've done is I've just made so many friends. It has been so much fun. I get to know all kinds of people from Ireland and people from Europe and just, I mean, everywhere, people from Africa. And so it's using that kind of stuff has really started to move things up a little bit.
Okay. So what would you say was the biggest catalyst for change for you?
It was probably when I took a big step back and said, why am I doing this? And what am I doing it for? What was the why?
Okay.
And my why wasn't because I want to make a paycheck. And I think that's where I've seen a lot of things go wrong. All of my posts aren't about buy. I really want to know, how are you doing today? What's going on with you?
Yeah, I think that makes such a big difference, and the area that I often find people fall down in the most is businesses get so caught up in, I have to be selling all the time. I have to advertise or market my business everywhere I go with everything that I do and every single person that I talk to. And to me, anyway, that's a lot like being at a cocktail party with somebody that only wants to talk about themselves, right? Like they're always talking about their business, or they're always wanting to sell you their product or their service or whatever. And, if you've ever been in that situation, less than 5 minutes into it, you're looking for the exit sign, right? You can hardly wait to get away from this person. But it's when you start to build meaningful relationships with people, and they begin to know who you are and your integrity and what you stand for, and and they begin to like and trust you. That's when doing business with people becomes a whole lot easier. And social media is such a great platform for that. And one of the things that I've really enjoyed so much about reading your posts on social media is that comes through immediately when people connect with you. So, so let's talk about some of the different types of posts that you can find on your Facebook and Twitter, and you're on LinkedIn too, right?
Yes, I am on LinkedIn. So you can find anything from links to my website to just a conversation. And I talk about all kinds of stuff. Typically, if I'm having a rough start, you might log on and find a video and it'll say sing along time, turn it up, and maybe it's Eye of the Tiger, or maybe it's I Love You Barney song or something. Just something, because I feel like if maybe I'm having a rough morning, maybe somebody else is. So let's turn some music on, let's turn it up, let's turn things completely around and just say, good morning, how are you doing?
Absolutely. You know, and the other part of that I didn't get a chance to mention earlier with regard to your posts is that the other mistake that I often find that new businesses or startups make when they're getting involved on social media is they create all these really wonderful posts, and many times they're engaging, but then they sit there and they wait for the traffic to come in.
Right.
And then they don't understand why nothing is happening on their Facebook page or their Twitter page or their LinkedIn profile. Nobody's coming their way. And, you know, the biggest thing that I see making a difference for people is when they get that light bulb that it's an active kind of thing. I mean, I can't sit here and wait for people to come to me. All of these people that I've gotten involved with, on, like you mentioned, the letter pages where you share your business and you're networking with other people, is my taking accountability and responsibility for reaching out to them. You know, so it's when, and you do this so well, Miriam, when you reach out to other people's pages and you're looking at their posts and you're making comments and, you know, how you doing today? Or, gosh, that was a really great article. And what inspired you to write that? And, you know, that kind of thing. When you take the initiative to reach out to other people instead of, as a business owner, sitting there waiting for them to come to you, that's when the magic really starts to happen.
I agree. And I've worked for, a lot of years. I won't say how many, but I've worked a lot of them. And doing things online is so much differently than some of the other businesses that we get into. If I owned a coffee shop, I wouldn't go walk around the neighborhood knocking on doors, giving people cups of coffee. I really would have to wait for them to come in. But where I'm all online, I just go out and say hi to everybody. Because personally, I like people. And how are you doing? I think is really important. The other thing that I do is I have little challenges on my page. And I notice people participating and engaging more and more in that. And so I'll do posts to let them know, you're working really hard. I'm proud of that.
Absolutely. So we talked about some of the challenges that you put on your Facebook page, as well as some of your other platforms. What are some other examples of the kind of posts that you put out there that keep people engaged?
If someone comments, I respond. It's not an auto response. That's all me. I've linked it to my website and to my blog or my thoughts, so that you can just go on and see. I mean, if people that come to my page, and I've had people say this, that you're really just getting me. I don't sell anything. I don't have a product. I don't even have packages of, so I do a lot with Relationship Revival. There's not a package. There's no pre-form. There's no, here's what you do. There's none of that. Everything you get it's just me.
So how would you say that instituting social media marketing into your business has changed your business?
I think it's really changed it because of the relationships that I've built. I mean, I do like to like other people's stuff and other people's pages, but they need to be a page that I can agree with, that honors who I am. So I don't just like everybody's everything. I don't go, oh, I'll just like everybody's stuff and then we'll all be friends. I like pages where I feel like the people are real and we can build a real relationship.
Right. So you would say that being authentic and true to yourself has made an impact.
Exactly. And I think people see that.
That's terrific. That's terrific. Now, what advice would you give to somebody who's starting a business for themselves and wondering what kinds of marketing they need to promote for their business? What advice would you give them?
So my first advice would be to contact somebody like you. It's really hard. I've been at this for over a year, and I'm not rolling in the fat cash, just so everybody knows. And I really think had I come across a marketing agency like you, as somebody who I connected with very well and we listened to each other, I think it would have moved things along. Other than that, get in there and be engaged. Just be who you are. If somebody says, "How are you?" and you're having a bad day, say, "I've been better." And if somebody is posting, "Hey, I'm having a rough day," maybe send them something and, is there anything I can do?
Great advice. And the good news is that doesn't have to take a long time. You don't have to be chained to your computer for 8 hours a day going through every single social media platform. And it really only takes, I would say, probably 10 to 20 minutes out of your day to just kind of check in and say hi to folks and take a sampling of some of their posts and engage with them. It doesn't it doesn't take a lot of time. So what's next for Vineyards of Hope?
Oh, we have huge things. I'm doing, excuse me, I'm doing a special called School's Out Stress Busters, which is absolutely not a package. Only the price is packaged. So you log on to the website and say, "I really want to give this a shot." And we figure out ways to manage stress, because as we all know, when the school lets out for the summer, that is a huge change in our household, causing lots of stress. So we change that around and come up with a plan beforehand. And the reason that there's no package is, what if the things that are stressing me aren't stressing you? My stress as school lets out this summer is I have one of my daughters is planning on going into the military and wants to do boot camp between senior and junior year.
Oh, okay.
My other child is planning on embarking on a babysitting business all summer long. So that's two totally different spectrums. But at the same time, I remember when my kids were little, finding things for them to do was hard work. And if I could have found somebody that said, "Okay, I need you to take a breath, and then between us, we'll come up with a plan just for you."
Well, it sounds like you've got some exciting things in the work for your business, and
You do.
it sounds like you're probably going to have a really productive summer. So
I'm
congratulations
really excited
on
about it.
all of your success, and let folks know what your web address is in case they want to get in touch with you.
So to find me on the web, you can find me at vineyardsofhope.com. And if you look on the very home page, there's a link to schedule a absolutely free complimentary session for 30 minutes. And that's no strings attached. You don't have to sign on for newsletters or it costs anything. And it really just gives us a chance to see if we're compatible and we can work together, because sometimes you just don't vibe with somebody. And I would hate for somebody to waste money not vibing with me when I can give them an opportunity to see how we fit together.
That's terrific. That's so terrific. Relationship building right off the bat, right?
Exactly.
Well, I thank you so much for your time, Miriam. And this has been a really terrific experience, and you've provided a lot of useful information to small business owners that want to go ahead and take that first step into social media marketing. And you can reach Miriam at vineyardsofhope.com. And thanks so much for joining us today, Miriam. And we look forward to great things from you in the future.
Thank you so much, Lisa. I'm just so excited that you send me the invitation so I could do this. It's always a great time to just sit and visit with you.
Thanks so much.
Alrighty,
that's it for us, everybody. And look forward to another episode from Wise Marketing in the future. And I'm sure that Miriam will be doing the same now that she's on Blab as well.
I will be.
Okay.
I hope we can get together and do it again.
Absolutely. Take care and have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye now.